Hey everybody, it's Michael from ReplicaAirguns.com, and today I have a tabletop video review for you guys. We're looking at the Sig Sauer M17 ASP. This is the CO2 blowback pellet pistol. First, I want to thank Sig Sauer for providing this gun for review. That said, I always tell you how I really feel about these guns. If I like them, don't like them, the features I like, features I don't like. We'll be going over those in a moment here. So let's first start off with the specifications. Now this is a metal gun, so it has a metal slide and polymer or plastic frame. The magazine has metal and plastic components in it as well. It shoots .177 caliber pellets, weighs 2.21 pounds. We'll be looking at the magazine and stuff in a bit here to show you what's all involved in there, but it does have a 20 round belt-fed magazine that actually fits into this dropout magazine. So it's kind of a bunch of pieces in one, but it's really cool. It's an interesting design. This gun shoots in semi-auto. It has blowback operation. Uses what I'd call a double action trigger with about a 6-pound trigger pull. It uses 12 gram CO2 cartridges, as you can see, that are also housed in this full-size dropout metal magazine or metal and plastic magazine. The actual way that you put the CO2 in is it has SIG's proprietary or their neat little system here. It's like a lever. I can't show you right now because this is pretty much a full CO2. So if I were to pull this out, all the CO2 would leak out. But you don't have any Allen keys or anything like that. You just pull this lever out, pop your CO2 in, and then compress it back into place, and you're ready to go. The Sig Sauer M17 has a 4.6-inch rifled steel barrel. It also has white dot sights front and back, a working ambidextrous safety. The claimed FPS is 430, and since this is actually distributed by Sig Sauer, it is Sig Sauer licensed. And one thing that I really like that's new on these ASP pistols is you have an open ejection port. Okay, you can actually see right through there, and you have a nice recessed barrel. So those are some nice specifications and features. Now lastly, this gun is designed by Sig Sauer and made in Japan. And if you haven't noticed already, it's a very accurate copy of the real steel Sig Sauer M17, which is kind of a variant of the P320. Essentially, Sig took the P320 and made it to spec for what the military was looking for, and that's where this gun kind of came from, and it's actually being used now by the US military. It does come in a nice box. I like what Sig's doing here. Instead of the plastic bubble wrap thing that's, so you can see the gun inside, they've got a nice box. Can't really show you the whole thing in here. A nice box that you can still see the gun, but it's packaged in such a way that it doesn't look cheap like you're going to get with some of these, bubble wrap type ones. What you'll see here, up to 430 FPS, right? Replica of the US Army M17 pistol, 20 round, full blowback, semi-auto, right? Shoots like a Sig because it is a Sig. On the back here, you can see all metal blowback, velocity, semi-auto, right? Picatinny accessory rails. Some more specs, 12 gram, 20 round, 4.6-inch barrel, Picatinny, 2.21 pounds, polyframe metal slide. Okay, so a little shot of the magazine. Inside you're going to find, of course, their manual, right? Lots of information here on how to pretty much do everything that you're going to need to know, right? Loading, safety, right? How to get that magazine in and out. Again, pull lever down, insert CO2, close lever. Really simple for loading the CO2. Shows you how to load the belt-fed magazine into the magazine because it's basically a two-part type system. How to take apart, field strip this gun. How to remove potentially some jammed pellets if that were to happen. And how to put the gun back together, right? So lots of great information in there. So let's take a look at the gun now, go over some of the main parts. I'm going to keep the magazine out of it for now, but we'll put it in later. I'll do a little dry fire for you guys. But you can see here, the Sig Sauer and the M17 are basically right in the slide, right? So it's not just etched, it's right in the slide, stamped in or molded right in, right? And that's a two-tone gun. And like the real one, it's kind of a little bit, the slide is a little darker than the frame. The frame is polymer, has this Picatinny rail. You see the caliber there for the pellets. You do have a working takedown lever. I'll show you how to take it apart in a bit. Right, magazine ejection. Now I don't know if it can flip around or if the real steel one would flip around. Probably will. It looks like it would because it's the same on both sides. But you could probably flip that around on the real steel. Not sure on this one. That would be your side catch release there. That doesn't work because with most belt fed or rotary mag pellet magazines or pellet guns, It's just nearly impossible to have a follower on the magazine because it rotates. It doesn't just, it's not an inline ammunition fed magazine. It's a belt magazine. So it's really hard to know when that magazine's empty, right? So it's almost impossible. I don't know if there's ever going to be a way to do that. You have this ambidextrous safety, which is in the perfect position to take it off. So if you're holding the gun, you're ready to shoot, you're just, and your thumb's already in the exact position you want it to be in, right? You're ready to shoot. So that's a nice system, right? It's internal hammer, so you're not going to see an external hammer. You've got your sights here, right? You've got your open ejection port. You've got your white dot front sight, non-adjustable, however. Sig Sauer licensing, nice textured grips, right? You can see right into the mag well, textured on the back. There's the other side, ambidextrous safety, a slide catch that would be there, some warning instructions. You know, really, really nice quality gun. I really can't say enough. These guns are awesome. They're really well made. A little bit of slide wiggle, but you need some, especially with, you know, all the working parts that are going on in there, right? Nice recessed barrel, like recessed enough anyways. You know, it's hard to tell. You really got to look in. It goes in a good ½ inch, right? Okay, let's take a quick look at this magazine a little closer. Okay, so you can see here, there's where your CO2 goes. And this just, I'm not going to do it again, but that would just open up. You can get your CO2 out of there. It just pops in and out. You have this button here, which lets you take out the rotary mag, right? And then you can open it, and there's your belt, right? 20 rounds goes in there, okay? So I'm assuming Sig's going to be selling these just as the pellet versions, because you know, you don't always need to reload the CO2 or drop the mag. It'd be nice to have a full dropout mag with an extra pellet one, but it would also be, another option could be to just get the pellets and preload, say, you know, 3 of these and have 3 ready to go. So you could just drop the mag, pop one of these and put the mag in without having to load pellets in each time, right? So that would be kind of cool. I'm hoping maybe to get some of these, or maybe an entire new magazine so I can just drop and load right away. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna pop it in the gun now. I gotta pretty firmly put it in, right? It does take a little bit. Now that it's in, and the reason it's firm is because you're basically getting that CO2 in there, because when I eject it, listen to this, you get a little gas release, okay? So that's why you gotta really firmly do it, because you're seeding that CO2 in there so that it's ready to go. Now there's no pellets as you saw, so hopefully I won't shoot my monitors with anything, but let's do a little blowback fun here. A lot of really heavy blowback action. There's a lot going on there, so it's really snappy. Okay, as you can see, the safety works perfectly fine. Very neat. We're gonna put that safe on for now. Maybe not, because I gotta do a field strip. So I do wanna just quickly compare it to the P320 here. Very similar gun. You know, they look a lot the same, but there's a few noticeable differences. You know, in the looks, you got a different type of safety here, right? Okay. Slide catch releases on this side, so it's not ambidextrous, right? The safety isn't ambidextrous. Slide catch release isn't ambidextrous. Similar takedown lever, similar looking gun, similar magazine release, similar rail, but it is a little shorter here, as you can see. So this is basically, I believe, so that you could put a shorter slide on, make it more compact, so it's more modular. But on this gun, you're going to notice just a standard stick mag. The P320 also had this crazy 30 round belt fed magazine, which I think was a bit overkill. And Sig's really not doing that anymore. They're sticking with 20 rounds because the more belts you have in here, the more resistance there's going to be on the trigger. And you're going to definitely, you know, have a little bit more tension on that trigger. So 20 rounds is sort of the happy medium. Lots of rounds for shooting, but you know, you're not going to have as heavy trigger pull. So the CO2 one in the back here, and you would have to just do the standard tab, you know, to tighten it, right? So better system now for loading, all of that stuff. Now I got to pop that down and then put that back in, right? You'll notice the barrel isn't recessed as much, just a tiny bit, and the ejection port is not open. So there's a lot going on now with this new design, a lot of improvements. Now, I haven't shot the gun. I will be doing a field test shooting video shortly. I also want to compare this gun to pretty much all the Sigs, the ASP versions, the pellet versions, because Sig has really been moving forward with the designs and improving these guns. So I do want to kind of show you what's happened, how they've improved over time. And there are definitely some changes. And this M17 really incorporates all of new SIG's design and features. So it's definitely the best version out there so far. All right, let's do that field test real quick here. Right, you'll notice it. You get that little bit of CO2 that comes out. That's just what happens, right? Where safety is off. And we're gonna just pull this back. And we're gonna pull this, the lever, the takedown lever. Had a mental brain fart there. And then we'll just slide it off. Okay, and there's your slide. Okay, nice metal slide, right? There's your frame. You'll have a few parts that can come out. What's interesting is the barrel actually comes out. You just push that down and you can take the barrel right out. So this helps you if you have any jams or anything. I don't know if you can see down there, but maybe you can, maybe you can't. See if that's, you can see through there or not. See the rifling? And the spring system comes out as well, right? Pretty cool. Put that back in. And to push it down again to do that. Now, because of the way that this works, there's just a tiny bit of wiggle here. I don't know if that's going to affect anything in terms of accuracy. Hopefully not. We'll find out, I guess. Now, when you put this back on, what I've noticed is put it in that position and just as soon as it clicks down, that's enough. If you go too far, it's really hard to bring the slide forward. It kind of gets stuck, right? And then you just move your takedown lever back up and you're good to go. You're ready, right? Paper, everything flies away from the power. Now I have shot this gun, but I haven't done my full field test. I just played around with it. Shoots nice, feels good, trigger feels good, blowback's nice, seemed pretty accurate when I was just shooting it just freehand from a non-rested position. When I do my field test shooting video, we'll find out if it really shoots as good as it felt. It did shoot for me when I did at least test it in my C-can here just for fun. All right, let's go over some of the pros and the cons. It's a very good overall replica of the real steel Sig Sauer M17. It's designed by Sig and made in Japan, so it's fully Sig Sauer licensed. It has that nice heavy blowback operation as you saw when I shot it. Has accurate weight to it at just over 2 pounds, which would be similar to the loaded real steel M17. Now, an M17 unloaded is under 2 pounds, about 1.7 or 1.8 pounds, and the pellet version is almost 2.2 pounds. That would be very similar. I think if you had a 20-round magazine, it would probably be up and maybe even over that weight. Like that it has the white dot sights front and back with an accessory rail if you want to add a laser or red dot. It has that high capacity 20-round belt-fed magazine that fits into the full-size dropout magazine. Nice design. And the magazine also incorporates the CO2 with Sig's levers system for easy loading of the CO2. Now, even though it uses a belt-fed magazine and the trigger actually rotates that magazine, so you're gonna put a little bit of load on that trigger, it still has a 6-pound trigger pull that does not feel sticky or frictiony in any way. It feels pretty good actually, so the trigger's nice. I also like that it's the first Sig Sauer ASP pistol that is field strippable and also has that open ejection port, which adds to the realism, including, of course, the recessed barrel as well. That helps for realism. Now, a couple cons. The slide does not lock back after the last shot. I don't know of any rotary style or belt-fed magazine that's going to allow for that. It just isn't really an option at this point in time. I don't know how they'd even do it. The sights are non-adjustable. Would have liked to have seen adjustable sights in this pistol. It's got so much going for it, everything that we're kind of looking for. If there's some way to make those sights adjustable, that would have been nice. Now, the only magazine option that you're going to get with the Sig Sauer M17 ASP is this extended basically it would be a 21 round magazine in the real steel version, which is very close to what you're getting here with 20 pellets. You can also get a shorter magazine that I believe holds 17 for the real steel version, which makes the whole handle a little shorter. So you can't go that option with this gun because you need that extra room for all the CO2 and all the mechanical parts going on in this dropout magazine. It's just the way it is. But I think it looks great. It just looks like you have the extended magazine. It's not like it's something different that you wouldn't find on the real steel version. Just don't expect a shorter one because that's not going to happen. All right, that wraps this up. Keep in mind, we do have Sig Sauer products in our airgun store now in our Canada and US stores. I'm not sure if we have this one at the time of the video. We'll probably get it sooner or later. It is brand new. It just came out, but we do have some other Sig Sauer pistols and rifles in the airgun store, which is something that I'm happy to say we have. So check out our replicairguns.ca and replicairguns.us stores for those products. Now, if you're interested in other products, air guns, pellet guns, BB guns, blank guns, and other accessories, then check out both our Canada and US stores again. We do have a lot of products there. I'll also be putting a link in the description of this video so you can check out a written post for this video review over at replicaairguns.com. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.